Hi, I'm Annie Phan. My pronouns are she, her, and I am an educator in San Francisco and a doctoral student at Santa Clara University in the Social Justice Leadership Program. I think that first off, just being someone who holds many marginalized identities, being queer, Vietnamese American, the oldest daughter of refugees and immigrants, first in my family to go to college, all of these things, all of those experiences, which like already make me expert in those experiences, right? So from a young age, I was already wondering as I was experiencing stuff, like, what does it mean to be safe, right? Now that I feel unsafe, what does it mean to correct that or repair harm? Two, like having a background in ethnic studies where we think about power and structural inequity, as well as English, which is about creativity and exploring possibility. I'm currently in a doctoral program right now in social justice leadership. So these are constant classes about, how do we organize society? How do we interact with teams? Things like that. And on top of that, I'm super passionate about health education, having been a health educator for 5 years now. And so for me, I've had a lot of opportunities to take all of those experiences, personal experience, education, professional experience to come together and really know my stuff. Well, health is all we have. We only have one body and we've got to take care of it, and body and mind, right? And so the World Health Organization, in their definition of health, reminds us that wellness is not the same thing as the absence of illness. So just because you're not sick doesn't mean that you're well or you're healthy, but also just because you are sick doesn't mean that you're unhealthy either, right? We have to think about people who live with chronic illnesses and things like that. So I think that it's being able to meet the standards, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, or spiritually, that come together to make you feel healthy. So it's pretty personal. Yeah. When I think about empowerment, I think about a philosopher named Michel Foucault, and an important thing that he stresses in his writing is that we always have power. So empowerment is not necessarily like me giving someone else or a community power, but it's me helping to create space for other people to see, recognize, and claim their own power. It's really important when we're talking about justice to not confuse equality for equity. So equality is kind of giving everybody the same amount of a resource, and equity would be about ensuring that everyone has the resources that they need. So in a community, that looks like, whatever I need, I'm able to have access to it. Whatever someone else needs, like they might be really different from me. They might not have the same gender identity, like sexuality, racial background, family, and they're going to have a whole different host of needs, and that they also have the same amount of opportunities to access what they need as well, even if those needs are different. I think something that excites me about young people and entrepreneurship is that entrepreneurship for me is being able to not only like utilize resources, but to identify like your own resourcefulness in order to basically like pursue anything you want, right? So I think that entrepreneurship oftentimes is the pursuit of freedom, which every young person, I would say, like as far as I've seen, wants in their life. My hope is that every day young people get to see in themselves like how incredibly resourced you are and how incredibly resourceful you are to keep pursuing your dreams. I think that real world problems are the result of inequity and not including everybody's voices, right? Like all of these things happen because historically over time, we've only privileged certain voices and certain narratives. So the answer to that, to like really walk the walk, right, is to make sure everybody's voice is included. And that absolutely includes young people, because young people, every single young person has a unique experience that only they have lived, and their voice absolutely 100% needs to be a part of the mix for us to make sure that the process actually leads us to the results that we want, which is, justice and equality.